All right, the type 2, you can create an editable 3D test with the type 2. How do you go about it? Now you create your test as I've created right now, 3D. Then you go to the 3D option here. You click on it. Then you come and click new 3D extrusion from selected layer. You click on it. Then this panel will just pop up with this cursor. So this cursor is showing that you can rotate it nicely. As you can see, this is a 3D test. You can come to the properties here. In fact, here you can do a whole lot here. The extrusion depth, you can increase it here or decrease. You can bring it to the front. You can make it very big, anyhow you want. The shape preset, you click on it. There are more options here that you can choose from. This is very nice. You can choose this one too. Any of them is perfect for your work, depending on what you are doing. So let's select this particular one. Order. All right. Can increase the depth of the work. Can also even change the color. If you don't want the red and you want maybe a green, you can change it here. Any color at all you want, you can pick it from here. So let's go back to our red. You click OK. You have the lighting options also here. You can increase or decrease the lighting system. Within the color of the light, you can also choose the one you want. So what you have to do is just to play with it to know what you want to create a very good 3D test. So you can create a 3D from the horizontal type 2. Alright, so you can also max an image within a test or inside a test. What do I mean? You want to put an image or a picture inside this test. How do you go about it? What you do is that you import your image. I've already imported the image. So let me click on it here. The eye is not there. That's why it's not showing. So let me click here for it to show. Now you can see. So when you click on the eye, you will not see the image anymore. When you click back the eye, then the image will just pop up. So we want to put this image inside this test. Now you realize that the test is on the image. So you have to make sure that the image will rather be on the test. So I'll click on the image, then I'll drag it on top of the test nicely. Now the test is behind the image. So what do? I'll just come to the image layer, I'll right click, then choose create clipping marks. The shortcut of this is Alt plus Control J. So let's create the clipping marks. Now you see that the image is inside the test nicely. So we have marked the image inside this test. So if you want to give it an outline or a stroke, you just have to click on the text. You come to FX or you right click and go to the blending option. Then I'll click on stroke. Realize that you see the stroke. Let me use the color because I want only one color. Then let me pick the color from the shirt. So you can do this if you want, putting image inside a text. So when you are done, you just have to click OK. Now you have the image inside the text. Now another thing that you can do, you let me merge this picture and the text. So I'll hold Control, click on it, then Control E to merge. Now they are one now. Okay, now if I want to duplicate it, this particular one, what I can do quickly is that I'll just hold on the Alt key, then I drag to duplicate. Can just decrease it and duplicate this one too. So just hold on the Alt key, the cursor will change into two triangles, one black, the other one is white beneath. Then you can just drag it to duplicate. All right. Now you can also customize or convert your text into shape so that you can manipulate it, or you can customize individual letters to your own shape. How do you do it? You click on the layer of the text, you right click on it, then you come to convert to shape. So when you click on it, you can see the knots all over the text. So you pick your direct selection tool. So you want to manipulate the P. So I just have to highlight this area, click on it and drag to extend it, customize this particular one. All right, so let's do the same thing with the H. So let me do this one too. Use the direct selection tool. You can customize individual letters to your taste. Let me do this. 1, 2. Can do it this way. So this is basically customization. So if you are done, just click on the move tool, then you are good to go. So you can convert the text into a shape by right clicking on the layer, then you select convert to shape. Then after that, you use the direct selection tool to customize it to your own standard or your own taste. All right, so instead of manually changing the size of the text by using the properties or maybe the control transform like this, you can do it quickly by highlighting the one you want to increase or decrease the size. So let's highlight the love text. Then if you don't want to do it quickly, you just have to press on the control and the shift key on the keyboard. Then you also press on the greater than or less than keys. Then you realize that so the greater than key is increasing it. The less than key will just decrease the size for you. So what you have to do is to hold control plus shift, then use the greater than and less than keys to increase or decrease the size of the text. So let's highlight all, press on control plus shift, and then greater than or less than keys to increase or decrease the text. That's a very short way of increasing or decreasing text that most beginners don't know. All right. All right. The next thing you can do with the horizontal type tool is that you can create a path. Then you write your text on it. A custom path, you write your text on it. How do you do it? Let's pick the pen tool and create a path, a custom path. So let me just create a simple path. All right. Now, after creating the path, what you do is that you go and pick the type tool, then you bring it to the edge of the path. You realize that the cursor will change into a different design. Where this is a box, and I bring it here. There's a line and a curve just beneath it. So I'll just, you let me zoom in for you to see it very well. So let's pick the horizontal type tool. Then you bring it close to the path. Realize that it will change into this. And you click on it. Then the text will just pop up. Let's reduce the size a little bit. All right, so let's write our text. So with this, you can write anything that you want to write. So you see that I've written the text on a custom path. Let's create another path. This time, let's create an arc. So let me pick the pen tool again. Okay, so you are going to write on this path. So what you do is that you click on the move tool, then you click on the text tool again, you click on it, then let's use the size. Then you can just write your text. So if you want to change the color, just highlight it. Then you come the options here, and you can select the color you want. So you can just create any custom shape, then you write your text along the path. All right, now you can also apply text style and layer style. How do you go about that? You come to the layer panel. So this is the test. You right click on it. Then you select blending options. Click on blending options. We are going to apply test styles and layer styles. Here you can manipulate it, play with it. You can change a lot of things here. So let's start with the stroke. So let me click on the stroke. The stroke is basically an outline around the text. So the stroke is very, very big. So let me decrease the size of the stroke. You can change the color of the stroke here. You can also decrease the opacity of the stroke by dragging up and down to increase or decrease. The stroke tool, you can bring it outside or inside or center. In fact, you have a lot of options here that you can work with to suit your design. Then the fill type, you can change it to gradient. So the gradients also have an options here. You click on it, you can change it to any color from red to maybe yellow. So all you need is to play with it. So I've changed it to red to yellow. Click OK. Or there's another options here that you can just select them. Any color you want, you can just customize it to your taste. Let me increase it a little. You can also add shadow to it, drop shadow, increase or decrease the shadow. In fact, there's a lot of options here that you can work with to suit your design. You just have to be very creative with it. So this is a drop shadow. Nice one. You can add bevel and emboss to give it a little 3D feel. But here you have more options here that you can just play with it to see what suits you. You can even change the color here by going to color overlay. You see the color I've just changed. You can change it to any color that I want. You can do a lot in this particular panel. So another thing that you can do is you can wrap text into shapes. Wrap text into shape. How do you do that? So let's go and pick the rectangular tool, any shape at all. So let's type the rectangular tool. You click to draw and drag to draw a shape, a custom shape. Then you pick your horizontal type tool. You bring it inside. So you are going to write a text inside this shape. So you click inside it. Realize that the text will be fixed inside. Realize there's a plus sign here. It means that there are more text there. So when I click it and drag, realize that the text will be just popping up. So far as the plus sign is showing, it means that there are more text that when I drag to be coming up. So let me just decrease the size so that most of the text will just come. All right. So with this, you can just write your text inside. the custom shape. Can be a circle or anything. This is good for designing layout. If you are designing a magazine or a poster, it's a very good option for you. Let's delete it and draw another shape. So let's use the ellipse tool. Pick the type tool, click on it, reduce the size. So here, write your text nicely in there. So let's see you are designing a poster, a flyer, a magazine, any layout design. This is a very nice trick for you. Arrange your text very well, anyhow you want it. Alright, so if you have a lot of text like this and you need good spacing and precise paragraph, you need to use this panel. So you go to the window option, then you click on the character option. Now this panel will pop up. You have the character and we have the paragraph. So let's see what is in the characters. Now if you want to increase the spacing between the words and the letters, you use this option to increase or decrease it. So you just drag up, drag down, increase and decrease. If you want to do the other one, the spacing vertically, you use this option to give you a very nice spacing. Want to close it, bring it together, use this option. So anytime you are using the horizontal type tool, this panel is very, very important for you to give you a lot of manipulation options, the character or the paragraph. So if you want to change the size to, you can also do it here. The size of the text, you can do it here. So we have a lot of options here that you can just play with. If you want to make it bold, it's here. If you want to create italics, all the options are here. So just play with it. Then you see what this panel is made up of. It's a very, very important option. Let's check out what is here too. You can try all these options. If you want to put in the middle, you come here. Let's bring it back. So just play with all these options and you know how this panel is very, very useful as a graphic designer beginner. So character and paragraph panel is very, very important. You go to the window, then you click on character to just pop up for you. Now, if you want to change the font, let's say you've written this, you want to change the font. You just have to click on the type tool. Then the font options are here. Then you change to any font type you want. Let's say you want to change the love font. Want to change the font of the love. How do you go about it? You just have to highlight it. You highlight this, then you go to the font options, then to allow you to do what? To change it nicely. Now, one of the options that most beginners don't know is the use of the clip for special characters. Now, most of the characters you can't even find on the keyboard. So that's where the clip is very, very important. Now, how do you get to this option that I'm talking about? You come to the type, click on the panel, then there's a clip option here, the clip panel, you click on it. Then you realize that there's more options here for signs and symbols. Let's change this to area black or Arial. Decrease the size of the text. Now here you realize that there's a lot of signs and symbols here for currency. When I click here, you can see there's currency, there's numbers. So if you want to work with numbers, those who like typing mathematics stuff, you come to numbers, you can insert them. There's currency also here. Punctuations are all here. In fact, there's a lot of options there. So let's just pick the currency. Then you want to put maybe the dollar sign, or you just have to click here, then double click on the dollar sign. It's just that it just pop out. The euro sign is also here. So anything you want to put here, you just have to double click on it. It will just be popping up. If you are designing and you need a symbol that you can find, most of them are inside the clip panel. So when you come here, more options for you to select from. So that's the clip panel for you. Most beginners do not know. We have the CD sign here. In fact, most of the world currency signs are all here for you to select. So thank you for learning. Thank you for watching. Remember to subscribe. I'm Jason Napa. I'm out.